right, good morning, everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Dominic Battistella. Welcome to 1 Million Cups. Running just a couple of minutes behind this morning, having some technical issues with the camera, but I think we've got those settled. We've gone from two presenters to one today because our other presenter had a death in the family recently. So we're going to reschedule them in the near future.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Thank you, Dave. So thank you all for coming, braving the traffic and the fog out there this morning. So do we have anybody who's here for the first time today? Thank you for coming. So 1 Million Cups is a entrepreneurial support organization. There's 160 chapters of 1 Million Cups across the country and growing every single week. We are a part of and powered by the Kauffman Foundation, which is dedicated to the community economic development through the support of entrepreneurship. And that is what we're here to do, is to help entrepreneurs with their businesses figure out some of the issues that they may be having or answer some of the questions that they have from a community of folks who have been through it before or are in the middle of building their own businesses and want to help other businesses be successful. So that's why we're here. I'd like to thank a handful of people. If you can push this, thank you. We have our community organizers, Nancy McCreary, Terry Conlon, Jim Roberts, and William Clote, who's graciously taken over the role of videographer for the group. So, hey, make sure you thank him. On Facebook and YouTube, Tony and Trish Holden, myself, of course, David Bates, who many of you as presenters have spoken with him as one of the coaches, Tracy Imes, who is our presenter intake coordinator, Krista Johnson Sotomayor, who's in the back today, graced us with her presence. Thank you, Krista. George Stewart, who is our other one of our other coaches, who many of you may have talked to. We have a handful of student organizers as well out of Schema and NC State who are not here, but they are working in the background helping with social media and transferring video and some of the outreach, things like that. We have Alexis Dornaz, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, and Nikita. They will be here, we're trying to get them here once a month, but they're definitely diligently working in the background. We also have our community sponsors, Muddy Dog Coffee. Thank you to Jim for bringing the coffee, it's awesome as always. Imperative Product Operations, Global Training Initiative, Broadway Marketing Services, NC Idea, So Do IP, American Underground, Uplift Now, and New York Life. So for our one presenter today, we have MemoryCrafters. We have Abhi and
Narang.
Okay, how do you pronounce your last name?
Narang.
Narang. Okay, and they're going to be telling you about MemoryCrafters. So please, make your way.
Alright, hi everyone. My name is Poonam Narang,
I'm Abhishek Narang. I go by Abhi.
and we are an early stage startup. We played with the idea about 18 months ago, and then we officially kind of started out in January. So back in 2014, towards the end of the year, I was planning my son's first birthday party. I don't know how, looking at the room, we have so many men. I'm sure all of you helped your wives, right? Planning your birthday parties. But mine didn't. And I was in India trying to organize his first birthday. It was our first child, and I wanted to be super special. But I was having a super hard time. And then fast forward to 2019 in January, he wanted a ninja birthday. And I couldn't even figure out what a ninja birthday looks like. And thank God for these taekwondo classes, right? That's when I figured out, oh, they have a birthday party too? Do they really do taekwondo and birthday parties? So anyway, now coming up in March, money now, considering MemoryCrafters and everything, to go and splurge on a big birthday party. So I wanted a traveling farm home. And now again, I'm researching about traveling farms, wanting to put up the perfect birthday party. So we decided on starting MemoryCrafters. Our mission is really to create lasting memories. My son's first birthday party picture album, by the way, is still not created, and he still complains about it. So someday, maybe our 25th anniversary, I'll give that to him. So our mission is to create lasting memories in a stress-free way. Our vision is to be the pioneering celebration platform for all kinds of milestone celebrations. As millennial parents, we're busy. I'm a full-time working mom. My weekends, if I try to look for a birthday party or a venue on weekends, it's usually quite booked up because I'm quite a last-minute person. Lots of time is spent researching recommendations. I go into this analysis paralysis mode, trying to do the perfect thing. I want to manage everything myself, and it has to be Instagram worthy, right? I use multiple tools to arrange an event. I'm going on Pinterest, finding themes. I'm going on Facebook, finding recommendations. I'm Googling local, Macaroni Kid and Raleigh Fun for Kid places to find the perfect party spot. I go on eBay to send out my invitations. I go on Amazon to create the wish list. I go to Party City to get the decor. So I'm touching so many places. My issue as a millennial is really making this event planning memorable, but at the same time easy, stress-free. It shouldn't take me like 2 months to celebrate one birthday party. Otherwise, I'm spending all my year planning birthday parties between the 4 of us, right? The other spectrum are the local vendors. Now, I wouldn't have ever imagined that a taekwondo place would be celebrating birthday parties, right? Or there's a traveling farm that comes to homes to help your child have this memorable birthday. So there are local vendors, cake artists, photographers, even people who make decors and run them. And we want to create an avenue for them where they have easy access to parents like me and like him. We want to connect our local vendors to a larger user base. And the other thing is that, places like the taekwondo place or some other birthday party place, there are non-peak hours. So my son comes home, for example, at 4 o'clock on a weekday. Weekends are super busy, right? If these are popular birthday party places, they'll have their weekends busy. But the weekdays is a potential opportunity for them to really fill up their space and make that extra income. And that's not available today because they don't think in that direction. It's an unknown almost for them. So utilize unused excess capacity. And keep in mind, we're just kind of starting to touch on the very surface because I'm talking birthday parties because that's the mode I am in right now, planning my daughter's birthday party. But think about planning your wife's 30th birthday or 50th birthday or doing a wedding shower or something else, right? I have space in my basement and I love to host people. Maybe I can rent my basement to host a party. So from our minimum viable product, from our initial idea, what we want to do is create an event. You go to our platform to decide your theme based on the age. You create and send invitations with RSVPs. You create a gift wish list through Amazon. You reserve your cake artist, your photographer, your decor place, and maybe even help with some babysitting type service, right? Send thank you cards after your birthday. I haven't done that ever for my son because there's just not enough time. And then the best, access your memories whenever, wherever, right? Imagine having something like a Google Photos on your library in here because I have partnered with my photographer to upload all the pictures. Now, I am able to access all these memories whenever I want. For my son's birthday party, it's somewhere sitting in my MacBook. I have no idea, or maybe in my hard drive. And every time he tells me, you need to create his first birthday picture album, I have to struggle. Where have I stored these pictures? But now, this is accessible. accessible. You've taken the pictures. It's all on the same platform, right?
So yeah, we basically want to create this platform for end-to-end celebration planning, and and we really want MemoryCraft to build a brand around celebration and memory creation. And if we do that, then these are the ways we think we can monetize this this brand. We have done some analysis about the local vendors, and this is our pricing model. We are going to start with a kind of a freemium model where we give 5 free events to a vendor or a hobbyist to use our platform, and after 1 month after they use our platform and see the value of our platform, we want to charge them $150 per month. Parents, as she said, we really want to create a digital library of your memories in the cloud, and which is accessible anywhere, anytime. And that's where for those kind of premium services, we are going to charge the users, and that is obviously not something we look kind of to do it in a short in short term. Definitely, kind of that's a long-term plan to use subscribers, charge subscriber fees when we make that platform so valuable to them that they want access to this platform on a regular basis. And we'll have a free version and a premium version. And then biggest opportunity we see, if we can create this platform as strong as we want, we see an opportunity of advertising revenue from the big box stores. You want anything here? Market size, this number is only based on the US-based vendors, based on a $150 monthly price, and then that's over $1 billion market. And then obviously there is another opportunity of having channel partners. Once we establish the brand, we have thousands of multiple active users on the platform. We can channel with different partners to monetize this brand as well. So what we are looking for, as you said, we are an early stage startup. We literally started the company like 5-6 weeks ago. We have been playing with this idea for 1 year, so we have done some research, surveys, both on the user side and the vendor side. Our plan is to develop the minimum viable product over the summer, and then launch our pilot in the RTP area in the second half of the year. So right now we are hiring some interns, spring and summer interns. Our plan is to start with spring interns in March, and then convert that into a full-time internship in the summer. We are talking to Duke, NC State, Wake Forest University. By the way, we both met at Wake Forest Business School as MBA students, and we have done a lot of work for the companies. So we are trying to kind of use students to help us build this company. We are also looking for a technical co-founder, CTO, and we are also applying to accelerator programs, in the area, and also some others for the next phase of building the company.
So I'm just going to take a step back here for a second. He mentioned that we met at Wake Forest, right? So we are both engineers, but unfortunately for us, we don't fit the typical, Indian engineering type persona, I guess, because we don't know coding, and I wish we did. So we really need somebody who can support us on the technical platform side, right? I have some amazing ideas in terms of how far we can reach. My background is I have an MBA. He has an MBA. Most of my career, I have been a business strategist, marketing research, and business strategist. And he has been around project management his career. So between a technical co-founder and our skill sets, I think we can create an amazing platform. We are currently in our idea validation stage and ensuring that in order to make this platform successful, we understand there needs to be the mass is in the local vendors, right? While our end users are the millennial parents or users who are celebrating their milestones, our revenue is coming from our local vendors. And we want to make sure that this is the right platform for them. And so we want to spend the time during the summer to really validate that market, but at the same time, develop a minimum viable product or at least a user interface of sorts so that we can take this to them and show them the power of what we want to offer.
Excellent.
You can open it up for questions.
There's a possibility to use it also instead of for the residential or family in their home operation, to also use it as a kickoff for entrepreneurs starting their own businesses.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Jim. Thank you. That was a lovely presentation. It was a lot of it. I, on the other hand, have never thought about this space, so there's that.
I thought that we had men in the room who were different. But
Also, as in a prelude to my question, as a guy who sells coffee, I'm very familiar with competition.
Yes.
Lots of kind of generic competition. It's kind of like when you go to a gas station.
Yes.
What makes this gas station? Yeah, that gas station. But while you're talking, I just Googled, and it came up with this site called thumbtack.com, which I had never heard of.
Yeah.
And I said, birthday party planner. And 10 people popped up in the 27701 zip code.
Sure.
So what I'm curious about is how is what you're doing, or is what you're doing, differentiated from these 10 people perhaps on this site, and how are you going to leverage your specific competitive advantage to sell more birthday parties?
I think that's a great question. I don't know if you want to take it, but I see them more as our network partners rather than as competitors, because this is an end-to-end platform, and this is right from searching what the theme is, which is typically the Pinterest space, right, to recommendations, which is typically the Facebook space, to decor, which is typically your event planners, Party City, Amazon.
I never thought of it as the Pinterest space. That's interesting.
That's where I go to look, right?
Yeah. No. Sure, you're correct.
And so all of these, to me, are network partners. And what we are doing is we are providing this one-stop platform and leveraging. I'm not going to sit and actually create the million themes that could possibly exist, or potentially create a wish list Amazon-like. I don't have, that's not my core competency, right? I need to leverage the other networks that exist today in the marketplace. And so the event planners, the cake artists, babysitters, they're all network to me.
So am I to understand then that you are looking for event planners as well?
So they could be potentially one. For example, there's
So you
a
would be
thin line.
contact.com?
So there's a thin line today between decor, places that sell decor, and event planners. So there are event planners that even make decor by themselves, as well as plan the event in terms of organize your venue with all the decorations and the cakes and all of that. So there is that space that has been created. But at the same time, they are not the ones who are starting with your invitations and ending with your pictures and creating an album for you, right? So this is the platform that provides all of that.
So not to intrude on everybody else's time, but what I'm hearing you saying is, as an end-to-end platform, you're focused on deliverables that are more than the party.
Yes.
Yeah, and just to explain, like right now, it's a pull system. If you want to do a celebration, let's say if you want to do a kid's birthday party, right?
Yeah.
You find a place, then you find a birthday. It's very fragmented, right? You do like 5 different transactions and go to 5 different platforms to do it. Our vision is, convert that pull system into a pull system where, let's say 3 months in advance of your kid's birthday, you get alert on your phone, on the app, you go to the app, you select the birthday place. If you want to do it at home, you skip it, you go to the next tab, you look at the birthday cake vendors and you can see the recommendations. Then you go to the third step and you can book your event in 10-15 minutes. What says it on an average, you did the survey and it takes at least 4 days or more. 80% of the people say it takes at least 4 days or more to plan a celebration. So that's on the user side. What we are also doing on the vendor, freelancer, and a hobby side is that we are giving them a platform to directly sell and market their services to people, directly to the people. And we are using their unused capacity. We are trying to use the latest technology to use their, unused capacity. They're very busy on the weekends, but during the week they have excess capacity, which we are trying to use.
Thank you, and I potentially have a venue for you, so let's talk after.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, also, I guess to start, Abhi, great presentation. I'm a sophomore, so I can definitely help connect you with prospective interns. And I can relate to a lot of your struggles since I'm also working on an online marketplace sort of platform. So I have a suggestion and then a question. In terms of a suggestion, I'm also trying to figure out the best way to bring about an MVP. And a couple of routes that we're looking into is outsourcing. So pretty much paying some other freelance companies to develop a smaller product. So that could be a route that's less equity intensive in terms of getting an MVP. There's also a site angel list, I believe, that is like entrepreneurs that try and find other entrepreneurs. So like in search of like a project to work on as a CTO, there are probably people who can complement your skill set. And my question is, in terms of monetizing this, why would parents want to pay for a monthly membership if say they're only planning like maybe a party in December and a party in the summer? So I definitely see
And that's why.
Yeah, and that $1 billion number does not include that. And that is something we obviously, it's kind of a long-term plan. We want to make this platform as useful as parents. And why do you want to pay it? If you want like access to your memories, just not the pictures, right? When I think about memories, I have a 3-year-old and 6-year-old. When I go to pick my daughter, they give me a handwritten sheet every day, what she has done. It's not very important to us now, but I know 10 years from now, it's something, I want to happen. So I want this platform to have record all the memories, and any memories you want to access, it should be on the app anywhere, anytime. So they might want to pay if we show them the value of this platform.
Sort of a follow-up to that, like how big of a pain point is that for consumers? Because I feel like social media and like digital devices, like the main routes to storing photos.
It does. It gives you the photos, like I think Apple, but you still have to buy the storage for do that. And we are not charging premium fees to the MemoryCrafter platform, just not for the pictures and the memories. We will show this platform that if you want easily conveniently want to do a celebration, you use this platform. So if you like celebrations and you see the value of this platform that you can plan a celebration in 10 minutes for anyone, then there is a value. Does it make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, my name is Carol. I have a question right here. I'm looking at, there's some people are doing the same thing like yours, and saying there's so much competition. But there's one which is called Keep Party right here. And I'm going to the platform right over here. I'm going to do my kid's birthday party. Like what you said, using my zip card, and I need somebody for the cake. It's right there, they're already graded and all that stuff. I need someone to do the planning and all that stuff. And I just click and all that stuff. And everything comes up, it's on Kids Party. It's already Kids Party, already gets sent platform what you're talking
Kids
about.
party.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you already have the platform what I'm talking about. I just click and everything goes right there. And right there, I have my own iCloud, a Google iCloud, and where I have my, it gets blockchain too. Like, because in terms of privacy for my kids, for a party, I don't want someone to be storing my pictures.
Yeah.
They already have Google, you can put on whatever iCloud you want to do and all that stuff. And they're not paying for it. You know what I'm saying? It's free. But the way I look at it, for you to charge people money for once a year, I'll suggest for you to do what you call microtransaction behind. You know what I'm saying? Whoever signs up that, like the wedding planner, whoever is doing the cake, take a certain percentage, maybe 1%, but to charge individual things are free and all that stuff. Like this guy, what they're doing, is free, but I think they need microtransactions behind instead of charging people everything membership. And then you can build up to the business right there. And do your market research platform first, then do it for free, then you can move up to the next level and all that stuff. And don't focus on kids, focus on other things.
Yes,
You know,
absolutely.
And that's our long-term plan. Unless we don't make this platform so strong that we see the value, then we want to go. That's why we did not, put that number in the plan. We see that as a long-term opportunity, but not obviously we don't want to start with that, And to your other point, we talked about the kid's birthday because the genesis of the idea was, having kids and have celebrations. That's what we really get the time for. But our idea is for this platform is to make this platform, this brand, related to celebration. Any celebration you want to do, you want to think about this platform.
So, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
The ball is the mic. You have the ball. It's your turn.
Well, I'm of that generation that didn't know birthday parties were this complicated, so.
Oh, me too.
Just
Me too.
remarks with that, but I understand.
All we got was wafers and cake, that's it.
I understand you youngins are, anyway. I would challenge your assumption that you need technical people to build something right now. And I would encourage you to think about an MVP that is even more minimal than what you're thinking about. Your riskiest assumption is, will somebody come to my website and actually plan a party this way? And you can, Wix is out there, WordPress, I can build a website I want. Does it have all the bells and whistles and features that you want? No. But your riskiest assumption is, does somebody want to plan a birthday this way? And you can put up a website by Saturday that does that. You can test whether you can drive people to that website. And you might be scrambling around like a hamster on a wheel underneath that website, behind the scenes, doing stuff on your own, picking up the phone and calling the venue and doing all these things on your own. But you're testing whether or not people really
There's a
want
market,
to do
yeah.
this. And that's the important thing you got to do.
Understood.
And I agree with that. And we are actually, that's kind of our vision, is to having kind of a flawless, DoorDash kind of platform to this whole thing. But that's kind of the long-term vision. But yeah, for the MVP, we are looking into those options to kind of get this started. Thank you for your feedback.
This is not my comment, but I just really want to piggyback on that.
Yeah.
Just read this morning. I don't think how Zappos was founded, but the founder basically went around to a shoe store, took pictures of shoes, put them on his website, and then when someone would order, he'd go and buy the shoe and ship it out to him. That was like a market validation thing. So I have some thoughts on the technical thing. I'll find after. My question though kind of revolves around more of your financial model, and I guess I know that party planners are people that can be on your platform, but I'm sort of having a distinction, trouble figuring out how you're different than a party planner. And I was sort of thinking, so my sister-in-law planned my nephew's first birthday, so I'm of that generation. I realized how crazy birthdays were. Like, this was bigger than my bar mitzvah, and I'm not joking. And the way I'm sort of seeing this is there a way for you to kind of make a package? Because my sister-in-law would have paid whatever to click a button and be like, okay, Katie's a jungle animal themed birthday, right? If you had that, it's like, great, here's the at the zoo, and we're gonna have
You got it, exactly.
Because I think if you do that, and then I'm paying you, right?
Exactly.
Don't charge me $10 a month.
Yeah.
Let me pay you the however many thousands my sister-in-law paid.
Yes.
For this. You take whatever percent. So
Exactly. That's like you pay MemoryCrafters one transaction instead of 6 different transactions, and we take care of everything in the back. So that's stuff. But before you do that, you have options. You can see recommendation, everything. Like when you go shop, like I'm a very kind of value-oriented consumer. Before I pay anybody, I want to see every other option in the market, and that's why maybe we take so much time planning events too, because I want to see all the options. And right now I have to go to 10 different places to find an option, to talk to my family and friends, see, in my neighborhood who has done, what are the resources. And we want to give that option in that platform that everybody can see the value and see the recommendation from other people who have done those kind of celebrations.
Actually, building on, I think, all the comments that I heard previously, if you're seeking differentiation, which clearly this needs, is there a way to market this to larger families that have more than 2 kids, 3+ kids? That's probably a good way to go, and I think what you're going to find is you're going to find ethnic niches that are going to be very word of mouth, very close to communities, and you're going to be the solution, end story. And you can build on that cult brand, if you would, of loyalty, and then segue back to, the average American family with less than 2.11 children. So I think that that's one way. And secondly, when you start to build out the tech platform, with a lot of the artificial intelligence and machine learning and all the things that are becoming normal, but are not quite there, how could you help the memories get organized in a way that's much more streamlined, much quicker, and much more useful? Indexing photographs. If the kid's got a birthday hat on, it's probably a birthday party. I'm just making this up. I don't know the answer necessarily, but I think there's something there that you could deliver in the future, but starting with a larger population of families that can really use this kind of thing.
Thank you.
Hi. So jumping off a few different comments, my thought, and because going through the whole presentation, was not to differentiate yourself from party planners, but that you're an automated party planning service. So as someone who's planned multiple parties for my child, I'm not going to pay for a party planner. I'm going to sit on Pinterest in a black hole and do it myself, and sit on Google, and you guys can automate that process, and that's where you can market it, is you're the automated service for party planning, as opposed to having to hire someone. And you can do that cost savings as part of your marketing, and you save X amount. My second feedback was on the pricing for the consumer. As someone who only has 1 kid, basically what you were saying, like $9.99 a month is not something that would appeal to me, but what would was a package price of like 2 to 3 months instead. But maybe try to price it in a way where it's more advantageous for me to just opt in for the year instead, because I would save X amount of dollars if I opt in for the full year. But good presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Basically covered. I was going to say replace the bid planners. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Mark. Thanks for the presentation. I've got a 10 and 11-year-old, so I've been through some parties. The first one was terrifying. It was really difficult. And I see the value in what you're proposing. So I've got 2 comments. One is, I think that for me, the biggest technical challenge that you have is the venue. So if I say I want to have a birthday party, and I'm like many people and procrastinate, I've got 1 week to pull all this together. My biggest challenge is, well, does Bounce U have a slot open? Does the Cypherscape have a slot open? Yeah. And so if you've got a lot of users and they're all looking to see who's open when, I'm going to ask a question. Do you have to solve that problem of almost everyone has a different platform for how they advertise what's open as far as their venue, and you almost have to make it so that it's real time, where if I book something and 2 minutes later somebody else says, oh, I want that slot too, how is it reported back to them that somebody has reserved this spot? Because there's an area, and I think, I would type in my zip code, but really I'd be looking at the whole triangle area instead of just my zip code.
Yeah.
And the other question is, having done the first one and now my kids are much older, it's much easier for me after I've gone through it a couple of times, so I would have less of a need for a party planner as they get older, because I figure out, oh, it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be. So to keep users on coming back to you, I think is another challenge after a first couple of years. But thank you for the presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. Great job. A couple of things. unless you want to. But the question is, who's it for and what's it for? Because we've talked about big families and small families and ethnic groups and local and national and vendors and right, there's a bunch of people. So getting really, really clear on that is important. And the reason it's important is because it leads you to your MVP. Is it venues, themes, budgets, times, planning, vendors, so an MVP is a minimum viable product. It's the smallest thing that you can build that solves a problem that people will pay you money for, right? It's important to have a vision, but if you know who it's for and what their absolute pain point is, that's where you start. And you may find to some of the other things, you don't need to hire a CTO right now, right? You may be able to put something together and do your own thing. But it all starts with being really, really clear with who it's for and what problem you're trying to solve. So if you haven't done that or done that enough, I would recommend you go spend a little bit more time digging deeply into that.
Hi, my name is Sabrina. I think everyone put some really good insight into it, so it's just kind of tying all those things together. I used to work for a dance studio where we had 270 kids from the age of 7 to 11 come through. And so it is a really viable market because those parents are not only planning birthday parties, but they're planning the Girl Scout troops and they're planning the summer vacations and they're planning all this other stuff. So I think there is a lot of that age demographic, whether you're doing the ones and twos or the center, there is a lot of money and it's renewable, right? Because they're planning all these other things outside of the birthday party itself. My question also was on the vendors. I think finding who and why is very important, but there was focusing on local vendors and local and then big box advertisements. And as someone who used to work for something that was very specific on local and American made, those two don't always match, right? So once those big box come in, you kind of then kick out your local vendors, and then the people that you built it on are then kicked out of that process. So that's the third one, or the second one. And the third is, he was saying to store the memories, to continue to upload your memories. So what happens if you store all your memories and then all of a sudden can't afford or decide not to pay for the service anymore? Do those memories disappear? Do those photos
No, they will be there. It's just the free and kind of the free and the premium version.
Okay.
Like what we do at like Google Photos, right?
Thank you.
Right at the laptop. Hey there, my name is Jim, and I've got 2 kids who are 10 and 7, and I really love a good birthday party, so this is fun for me to think about. One of the questions I have for you is just a small one before I ask another would be, who do you guys see generating the content primarily at one of these celebrations?
Generating the content.
Yes.
So for me, I think in terms of who is driving what they need, it depends on the demographic, right? So I'm going to go back to a little bit of what the lady behind said, that as a millennial parent, typically, I take pleasure and pride in what I provide for my child. Back in the day, birthday party wasn't as complicated. It was wafer and cake. Now it is complicated because I choose to do a whole DIY thing, right? It's easy for me to pay money and get a party planner, but I don't choose to do that. I want to make it Instagram worthy, but I want to use my product. So it's the parent, and typically, sad to say, but it's the mom, right? And then from an older kid perspective, now the child is kind of trained to be part of this big theme-based exercise, right, on his birthday. So it was my son's decision, or my son's choice in terms of what theme he wanted as he grew older. So when he was 5, he was the one who created the event, right? So he wanted a ninja party, and that's how the whole taekwondo thing came up. And then this year he wanted to go to DeFi, so he just created the theme in his head. I wanted to be a jumping party, you know. So he was the one who was a master of what that content was like. But before it was the parent who was the one who decided what the content was like.
Thank you for that, because one of the things I'm sorting through is like, is this a user-generated content play? And it certainly sounds like a parent or a kid or whoever could create some pictures or videos. I also see like some of the vendors doing this as well. So one of the parties I was at with my kids was bringing a video game truck to the house.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my venue, his truck, and he will probably have a better sense for like some of the fun moments in that, like getting 10 kids lined up to run onto a truck and play video games. That's pretty cool. So he's probably in a good spot to video that and add it to the experience somehow.
So yeah, he could be the content creator.
Yeah, and I'm thinking because I'm a guy with a truck trying to get business with parties, I have to differentiate myself somehow. If I can make it a MemoryCrafters party, you know, pay me an extra $50 and you'll get this great video that I help edit.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's an interesting way to do that.
Yeah.
One last thing before I pass the ball is one of the guys who talks about UGC really well is an investor named Bill Gurley. And so you can, I'll send you a link to one of the podcasts where he kind of mentions some of the playbooks he likes to run.
Thank you.
Okay.
Just wanted to, now, I want to first explain where this idea is coming from. In my engineering career,
The guys in the back.
Use the microphone.
well, in my engineering.
Speak into the ball.
Hello, can we all hear this now?
Yeah,
All right.
that's the microphone.
In my engineering career, I come from a different kind of background than most engineers come from. I'm a bioengineer, so I have a 4-year biology degree, as well as from Illinois, a 4-year biological medical engineering degree as well. So what I'm saying is that in the course of my career, I did some interesting work. I was systems integrator of 911 Chicago, and then I guess they liked what I did for them because I cut the price from $4 billion to $3.2 billion. So I'm kind of still a little pissed off I didn't get any of that $800 million. But I did find some other things that are interesting along the way. I was also a systems integrator with Myron Walker as the systems integrator in New York. New York. No, I'm giving them an idea on where to go for different groups. One idea that summarizes other involvements for governmental, community, as well as emergency. Emergency, for instance, would be how the U.S. Forest Service needs to have truck drivers to bring potable water when they have those fires. 5 weeks ago, we had 14 wildfires going on in California. When you bring in thousands of people, there's a simple need for getting water for these people to survive while they're fighting these fires. 5,000 people need a lot of water. The Forest Service per truck will pay $300 per day to monitor that supply of water, which can give you your ceiling and your floor considerations for how to maintain your business. There is a cash flow consideration. What you can do then is have a governmental, a emergency, and a community branch in your business, because once you develop your database system, you can then custom tailor it for those other opportunities. So I just want to let you know to have the different kinds of things to work on that use the same basic infrastructure. Okay.
Hey, we've got time for one more.
This is a two-sided market. We have customers and vendors. Yes. And then you also have a network effect where if you have a lot of vendors and a lot of customers, it's sort of multiplied by each other. Yes. How do you plan to extend the size of your network to take advantage of the network effect and how big is the database of vendors, for example? And also, please keep in mind that this is a local sort of thing, typically. And so, are you planning to start locally in one area and go to another area?
Yes. So it's similar to a Groupon or Groupon. That's how Groupon started. Right? It started with a pilot in a local area, and so that's how it grew from.
Yeah, our pilot is trying to focus in RTP. It's a high population of resident parents. So our database right now we're building around the RTP.
Another question. Yeah, last comment for me. Really, it's a small one, but it's free advice from a guy who has no domain expertise in this, so take it for what it's worth. But I have had to do rebrandings, and I was noticing that your MemoryCrafters with a C and MemoryCrafters with a K.
That was the first couple.
There you go.
Oh, okay, cool. Sorry.
I was wondering if I could spend the $2,000 on my son's birthday party or on creating the MemoryCrafters with a C, when I don't know that this is a valid market. But point taken,
much for ideas and questions.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you.
So how many of you have stood up here and presented? Just show of hands. All right. So a bunch of you don't know what it's like to stand up here and do this presenting and field the questions. So you guys did a great job. Thank you for that. We want to give you these mugs as a memory of your time here. And every time you drink coffee, you can think of us and your experience.
We have some business cards here.
I just wanted to say that, it's sad that the other presenter couldn't make it, but I'm grateful for having that extended time and fielding questions from you guys and taking some amazing feedback so that we can work on some. Thank you.
Thank you.